Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this. You are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, oh, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'll be discussing the dark side of Scorpio, of Aquarius. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said Scorpio, but I decided to do the dark side of each sign series because the and the zodiac, Aquarius and Geminis are the most influential signs. And Scorpio, which is the ruler of Pluto, is the sign that Aquarius fears the most. And so I really think that we're going to see a lot of the darker sides of ourselves coming up with Pluto being in Aquarius over these next few years as ways for us to deal with our darker selves and address these things about us. And I wanted to create a platform for us to have this conversation, a healthy conversation about our darker tendencies, so that you could talk about them, get familiar with them, understand them better, and heal from them. And perhaps get some professional help, like counseling or something like that, or a mentorship or something to that effect. But I think it's just good to know. This is not about bashing or talking bad about signs or anything like that, just really to get a better understanding. And hopefully it opens up the opportunity for people to heal ourselves, really. But I also wanted to mention that I have dated Aquariuses at some of the lowest points in my life, and they were very good to me. I dated an Aquarius for 5 years, and some of the things that I learned from him I still use today. And I dated another Aquarius when I got out of lockup. He didn't judge me for it or anything like that. He actually encouraged me to go to school. He took me to the school to sign up. He made sure he helped me, talk me through like what classes and stuff to take. Like he had a lot to do with my going to college. And when I was going through my I've talked about this here on this channel before, that I had to pay child support for my oldest son for 5 years. And at the same time, I didn't get to see my son at all. That was probably one of the darkest times of my life. And I just didn't feel good about myself. But the Aquarius that I was talking to at the time helped me buy food. He would bring me food. And he showed me all the cheap places to go to get good food for low costs. And he really stood by me through that time and encouraged me not to go to that dark place. And I got Aquarius friends that I had been friends with for years, and they were good people to me. So this isn't about bashing or anything like that. Again, I really thought that this would be a good idea as a way for us to get in tune with our dark sides and have a healthy conversation about it as a way to heal. So I just had to put that out there. So to set the stage, I don't want anybody bashing signs and stuff like that. But anyway, So the darker sides of Aquarius can be very disloyal. These people will choose their friends over family, strangers. They'll choose strangers over family. They'll choose strangers over work, lovers, and friends at times. Don't expect them to be there for you when you get into a bind or need them. Um, they can be kind of like it's their way or the highway type of mentality. They can be bullies, they can be stubborn, they can be very disagreeable and rebellious. They can have this sense of like self-entitlement. They can be goofy and not take things seriously, and tell bad jokes at the wrong time. Whenever I think about Aquarius telling a bad joke, because they can kind of be a little over sexualized, like little horny old men. And so their jokes tend to be very inappropriate. They can be cruel. They can thrive off of negative attention. They might do something shocking just to get the wrong type of attention or stand out in the crowd. They might allow their friends to influence them. They can be flaky when it comes to work and career and quit a job at the drop of the dime. They lack respect. They lack respect of authority. They can also be chick magnets, no matter whether they're cute or not. They just have a intellectual, social ability. They're social butterflies that attracts people. They like to go out a lot, party a lot. They can be the cause of breakups, their own breakups and other people's breakups. Especially with the women, they tend to date married men and break up relationships or marriages that cause divorce. The first person that I think of, I know there's probably a lot more out there, but the immediate person I thought of when I thought of this was Alicia Keys and uh what's his name? Who's she with? I don't know why I can't think of his name, but he was I don't know, I can't think of his name, but the guy that she's with now was in a marriage when they met, and he left his marriage for her. They are instigators. These people will maintain friendships with their exes. Um, they can be insensitive and cold when things don't go their way. They're very emotionally aloof and nonchalant. Um, and if they feel like in a relationship that things are starting to get close or emotionally close specifically, they tend to you know, break up the emotional bond that's being formed because they're commitment folks. They're perverts, freaks, weirdos, closet homosexuals and bisexuals, cross dressers, just like Geminis are. When in relationships, they let themselves go. They'll stab you in the back. Um, these are the type of people that will put you on blast and like to be naked. They're nudists, uncouth, and disrespectful. Um, these people can tend to want to do like social experiments with their friends. Do tend to think of Aquariuses as um, I feel like these are immature traits, like when you're young, like teenagers. Aquarius does rule teenagers in astrology, and I think they tend to carry that mentality with them throughout their life. And so they'll do like social experiments with their groups of friends, like the Hunger Games. Like they'll set friends up to do certain things just to see them kind of battle with one another. um these people tend to need friends. They can feel like they're going crazy if they don't have friends, because much like Geminis, they tend to learn through other people because they lack personality. You know, air signs aren't very emotional people. We don't do emotions, we do intellect, we talk, you know? And so on the lower expression of that, um, we do tend to need to be around people as a way to know how to act. Now, from a Gemini's perspective, Gemini is the child of the zodiac. And if you can think back when you were a child, the way you tried to be like your big brother or big sister or your mom or your dad, or you copy people because that's how they learn, air signs are very much the same way. We really do need to learn from other people. We look up to other people. We are more likely to do those types of things. Um, Simply because astrologically wise, anyways, we are um we learn, that's how we really learn. And so if they're not leaders of the group, they may cause problems in the group. If they get called out, they have a very I don't give a fuck approach. It's like a hostile takeover. Um, for women specifically, I think you can see these traits that they have a hard time showing affection, um, and may struggle with motherhood. Um, they tend to, on the lower expression, not be good moms because, when you're raising a child, you have to be, be able to nurture and be emotional. I think Aquarius is a good mothers with babies, but once they get a certain age, it's kind of like, okay, well, whatever. And they might even tend to choose their boyfriend or significant other, whether it's the child's father or not, over their children, leave their children in the home, to be with that person and do whatever that person wants. Um, these people do tend to like swingers clubs, role playing, and seeing their man with another dude or with another woman. Everybody's going to be a little bit different, but they like to see people in humiliating positions. They might actually find people in humiliating positions very attractive. They might even do role reversals where, I think it's called cuckolding. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Don't quote me on that. Go do your research. But where they, will put on a strap on and give it to their man. Um, um, I think Aquarius and Leo is also really good at this, faking orgasms. Again, weird turn-ons, and they tend to attract gay partners. I had an Aquarius friend growing up in high school, pretty much all through high school, and a little after high school. And the reason why I feel like it's really important for us to have these kinds of conversations as well as just to heal is to be careful when you're judging people around why people might act like this, because you do not know what these people went through in order to be this way. So I have two stories. I had one Aquarius friend, she was a girl, she did date a gay man, but she didn't know he was gay until after they had a child together. They actually ended up being really good friends, by the way, but she treated that child badly because it was a reminder of the mistake that she made. Um, and she was very over sexualized because when she was younger, I want to say between the ages of 5 all the way through to 13, her mother's boyfriend, which was not her father, by the way, was raping her and molesting her every single night. I'm going to say that again. Um, she was getting raped by her mother's boyfriend, who was not her father, every single night from the ages of 5 to 13 with her mother, sisters, and brother all in the next room sleeping for that long period of time. She never got any help for it, obviously, like most people don't. And her mother knew after a certain while after it had happened, and she never left that man. As far as I know, even still to this day, that man is in her mother's life, and she still has to see that person every time she deals with her mother. I don't know how she was able to get through that and be the person that she was, the good person that she was after fucking experiencing something like that. But she was dirty. She would hide stuff under her bed. She didn't take showers often. And again, I'm not saying this as a way to judge somebody. I'm really trying to paint a picture that you don't know what people go through when you're looking at somebody from their darker sides that got them to be this way. And you have to be very careful when you're making assumptions about people. Not to say that just because they went through that, that you have to accept them, but you should be really, really mindful the way you judge people and what they from not knowing what they've been through. And the reason why she was dirty and didn't clean a lot was because that's what she did to try and keep her mother's boyfriend away from her, to stop him from being attracted to her. She thought that the dirtier she was, that he wouldn't come and do it, and he did not care. He still went in that room every single night and raped and molested her. And I have another friend who is an Aquarius, who I also was friends with all through high school and am still friends with today, who is gay because he was raped by his uncle. And that uncle, with the crazy part about that whole story is that the uncle still in his life, just like my other Aquarius friend, he still sees him, not it's not like an everyday thing as an uncle, but often enough, that's his mother's brother. They talk. Um, and he raped him and jumped him into a really popular game. I will refuse to say the name, but I say that again to say you just don't know what people have been through that makes them do the crazy things that they do. And you have to be really careful about how you judge people around these kinds of topics. But nonetheless, it's also important for us to do the work and take responsibility for those things and recognizing those things so that we know how to intellectualize why we might be a certain way, right? So I'm not trying to make up excuses for people, but still, we should really try to be a lot nicer to one another for that simple fact. And the last thing I have for the dark side of Aquarius people is they can be very picky or have very picky eating habits. I have an auntie who would bring hot sauce everywhere she went. It was the ghettoest thing ever. Um, but yeah. So, anyways, family, as usual, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.